With the GTA 6 trailer right around the corner, literally maybe a week away as of the making of this video, fans across the internet are talking about what they realistically expect from the game itself, which has been exciting to follow. You guys in the comments, let me know. What do you actually expect from this trailer? Up to this point, we've been talking about leaks that may or may not be real or supposed insiders telling us what to expect from the game, but now that Rockstar has promised a trailer in early December, fans are getting a bit more realistic about what they're expecting from Rockstar's new game. And today, we're going to go over the hot topics in the community we may or may not end up getting confirmation on in a few days. We're going to talk about shooting mechanics. We're going to talk about the map. So, like I said, let me know what you realistically are expecting from GTA 6 when we finally lay our eyes on it. Drop a like, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. We've got a lot coming. And let's start with a thread that recently started picking up steam on the GTA 6 subreddit. It's going over all the possible adjustments to the shooting mechanics in GTA 6. I want to talk about the details because there's some really good ideas here. Plus, I think it's to be expected that Rockstar is going to make some changes to the way the shooting works in the new game because GTA 4 and 5 tend to get a decent amount of criticism, at least from modern gamers, over the combat. Not to say GTA 4 and 5 have bad shooting mechanics, but they're a tad dated compared to the other third-person shooters that have come out in the last decade, and Rockstar is surely taking notes, or have taken notes, and they're going to make GTA 6 feel more akin to modern days. A GTA 6 game seriously benefits from the intuitive shooting system, and there's a lot of improvements that can be made over GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Now remember, this is the same company that made Max Payne 3, which is one of the best third-person shooters of all time to this day, so they are capable of making amazing combat. But like I said, a thread on the GTA 6 subreddit kicked off this discussion, and they made some points of what could be coming to GTA 6 in regards to shooting. One thing they mentioned was a leveling system, kind of similar to what was in GTA San Andreas. For those that didn't play that game, San Andreas actually had basic weapon upgrades as a system where the longer you used a certain gun, the more options you would unlock with it. So it wasn't like a modern leveling system like you would see in Far Cry or maybe The Division, but instead, you would simply unlock more options for the gun you were using. Like how if you used the micro SMG for long enough, you would unlock the option to dual wield it. Now there's plenty of ways Rockstar could expand upon that idea, add things like weapon engravings, better aiming, nothing fancy like other open world shooters, but something special enough to make it rewarding to use the same gun for a long period of time. Now, it's also likely that the weapon wheel is going to be adjusted from previous GTA games because with GTA 6 seemingly taking a more realistic approach to gameplay, I kind of doubt you'll be able to hold 10 guns in your pockets at all times. I'm sure the weapon wheel will return because we all agree probably. It's a great way to give the player more control of what they want to do, but I'm expecting it to only have 4 or 5 options on it instead of the usual 9 to 10. So you won't be able to carry a bunch of full-size weapons in your back pocket, but instead, you'll probably be able to carry a melee weapon, a sidearm, maybe 1 or 2 larger guns, and you'll use the weapon wheel to switch between those. And then, maybe as a way to compensate for this smaller equipment load, you'll be able to mix and match your dual wielding options. Like, if you were carrying an SMG and a pistol, you could unlock the ability to whip them both out at the same time. Rockstar probably doesn't want to take too much away from the player compared to previous GTA games, but I also seriously doubt they're going to bring back the magic gun pockets that previous games did, because that would end up being kind of it'd be a serious immersion breaker in a game that is probably going to be it's going to be realistic. Now, frankly, I'm hoping Rockstar takes notes from Max Payne 3 when it comes to the combat. That game had phenomenal movement and shooting, and if GTA 6 is going to be more action-oriented, Rockstar could copy-paste the mechanics of Max Payne 3. They could. It would automatically be a huge improvement over GTA 5. I'm not saying GTA 5's gameplay was bad, because obviously if it was, we wouldn't be playing it 10 years after release. But GTA 6 needs to beef it up. And since Rockstar has one of the best third-person shooters ever made sitting around in their offices in the closet, it would make total sense. It would make sense for them to start looking at that work that was already done and move those ideas into GTA 6. Now let's shift gears. Another very interesting thread started getting a lot of attention on Reddit recently, and I think it's worth talking about. We'll hear a lot about how excited people are for GTA 6 and all the crazy gameplay improvements we're expecting, but what about the other side of the coin? What are some of the things you do not want in the game? A recent thread asked Reddit users what their biggest GTA 6 turnoffs would be, and some of the responses were actually pretty interesting. One user said GTA 5's fighting mechanics, which I honestly agree with. Even though GTA 5 is the best-selling game in the franchise and one of the biggest games of all time, the hand-to-hand fighting mechanics weren't very good. I think everybody would benefit from them being overhauled to something a bit more responsive and less dependent on animations. One user said their biggest turnoff would be the inability to break through volleyball nets, which I didn't even think of, but okay. That would be an immersion breaker in GTA 6, so I'm gonna agree. A rather common sentiment was forced online for the campaign, which is something that's gotten a lot more common over the last few years. I don't know why so many games now force you to be online, even if you're just playing single player. And if Rockstar does this for GTA 6, a lot of people are going to be pissed. I mean, don't you think it's funny that back in the early 2010s, a bunch of publishers got in a lot of trouble because they tried to force us into online connections in single player games? It's crazy how now it's not even surprising if a AAA game requires online for single player. I thought we would have eliminated that from the industry, but we didn't. If only Diablo 3 and SimCity had been released in 2023, the controversy would have been much lighter for them, right? Now, another common GTA 6 turnoff was in regards to building interiors. Older GTA games let you go inside tons of buildings. GTA 5, not so much. Most of the buildings in the game had no interiors, and it kind of broke the immersion at times, so hopefully GTA 6 corrects this and allows us to run around the inside of buildings as well as the streets surrounding them. And speaking of GTA 5, a lot of people said they don't want GTA 6 to have more than 2 protagonists like the last game did, and a ton of people said they don't want GTA 5's physics. The physics thing I get, because Rockstar's engine often prioritizes animations over responsive controls, and in GTA 5 that could get kind of frustrating at times because you would often find yourself fighting with the controls of the game instead of the enemies. As far as the protagonists, as much as I love GTA 5's story, I think it's time for a series to go back to a smaller cast of characters, smaller roles. So if Rockstar could really focus in on those, I think we're in a good spot. I like the fact that it'll be probably 2 protagonists for the most part. Now, the last thing I want to mention is someone who said their biggest turnoff would be a skill tree, which took me by surprise because I think a lot of people were actually asking for a skill tree not too long ago, because it's a good way to expand upon the gameplay of a GTA game. And it's a good way without turning it into an RPG or causing it to drift too far away from the franchise's identity. Apparently, there's a number of people on the GTA subreddit that don't want a skill tree at all, which I thought was kind of interesting. I guess with a community as big as Grand Theft Auto's, you're never going to please everybody. There's always going to be things people disagree with, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think about a skill tree in GTA 6. You let me know in the comments if you think that would actually be a good addition to the formula, or if you think it would a bad one. Check out the video that went up the other day because we talk about the actual date pinpointed through confirmed leaks that we're either going to get the trailer or we're going to get an announcement that the trailer's probably coming at the Video Game Awards. We are almost there, guys. Thank you for all the support on the channel. I truly, truly appreciate it. I read all the comments on every single video that goes up, and this is a fun ride. I'll see you guys soon.